I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. 'Cause the love you give, you can't
purpose is not in
That's why I spend my life with you.
Happy holidays, everyone. Be sure to head over to our website at www.h4ht.com and shop your holiday Buy Ho 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 merch, which is a limited edition holiday collection. You can use code H4HT for free shipping on all items, including the bundles, or you can use holiday sale, a single holiday mug. You can get it in winter green or Christmas red. And we also have our t-shirts and sweaters you can order today. And just to let you know, if you catch me on live, you can use the code NOWLIVE for 20% off of all items. This collection won't be available for long as it is limited edition, so take advantage of the sales today. Happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy your holidays, and remember, buy ho ho the haters away. Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You're here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. The truth is, there's no secret why Carlos King and Kandi fell out, and not necessarily fell out why Kandi don't mess with Carlos King anymore. But there are a few people in the comment section and a few people that are still a bit confused as to how Carlos King and the Phaedra and Portia and Kandi situation actually played out. And I'm going to explain that here and explain why they actually fell out or don't mess with each other anymore. And not necessarily, like I said, don't mess with each other anymore, because let Carlos King tell it. Him and Kandi are still cool. They're still good. But let Kandi tell it. Her and her husband don't mess with him. They don't have a relationship with him, etc. What I thought was interesting about this situation with him and Kandi is it seemed kind of familiar. Like it seemed similar to the situation with Melody and him. He has a way of manipulating his audience or manipulating people or gaslighting people. He would get on platforms and say like, oh, we're good, we're fine, we don't have anything going on, or we don't have any beef, knowing that he has done things to these women behind the scenes in which would leave a bad taste in their mouth. So instead of them saying, or him saying, you know, she might be upset with me because of this, that, and a third, he lies and says, oh, we don't have issues, this, that, and a third. It's always interesting, though, how he always tried to ridicule the person that is affected by him for calling him out on social media, the internet, etc. He always try to ridicule that person by saying, I would never do that, go to the internet and say this, that, and the third, and speaks as if they are less of a person for bringing awareness to what has happened to them. And you would see that he did this with Kandi as well as Melody. Melody didn't necessarily call him out, but she did try to raise awareness to some of the things that was going on with her behind the scenes, etc. And it seemed like he gets embarrassed and annoyed when people do that, or when people make him look bad, and he retaliates against them. Not only that, he plays and gaslights to the audience, like I said, and makes it seem like, oh, we're good, we don't have a problem, etc. Like you saw with him and Melody. He went on his platform and he said, oh, me and Melody, we don't have a problem, or I never said anything bad about Melody. Melody. And that was never the issue. It's not that you said anything bad about her. It's the fact that you aligned yourself with her abuser. Same thing with the Kandi situation. It's not that she was talking bad about you or she has a problem with you, etc. It's the fact that you went behind her back to try to sell her story when she thought that you guys were closer than that. So it's the way you choose to deal with these women, which is why your character and integrity has been in question lately.
Somebody who you might not be having the greatest relationship with right now.
Who is that?
Somebody who might have asserted that their story was taken by you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's
Make
a
it
story
plain.
out there with you and Kandi don't get along because...
I do get along with her.
Okay.
Listen, I think at the end of the day, I will say this. She is somebody who I have always been a fan of, and I will continue to be a fan of, personally and professionally, right? And at the end of the day, when you have someone's phone number and there's a miscommunication or misinformation that's out there, instead of continuing to discuss misinformation, I would prefer to speak to that person directly. And at the end of the day, I haven't spoken about it because it's not for public fodder. That's how I'm operating and my integrity. So I believe that at one point in time, we will have a conversation. And once we have the conversation one-on-one, then I would be more than happy to come on Big Ticket Show and Shamessi and talk about everything else.
What is you and Todd's relationship like with Carlos King? There is no relationship, child. We don't have a relationship no more. No.
Also, one thing that I so messy, if it happened, too happy to blast at the post notification.
She's a star. She's everything. That's my girl. I love her. She's everything. She's a star.
Controversy surrounding Mel. So get in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you guys are up to date each and every time that I upload.
That's my girl. I love her. She's everything. She's a star. I've said it from day one. I have never said anything bad about Melody Cherie for us not to be good. She's a star. She's everything. She is Huntsville, honey. She's everything. I've said it multiple times and I proved it multiple times. I don't have any issue. Are you and Melody good? Yes. I don't see why we wouldn't be good. I'm great with Melody Cherie Rogers. I know there's things that have been floating around on YouTube, and I'm being honest, and this is the perfect time to talk about it. Okay? Y'all want me to have beef with I literally have beef. There's not one person breathing I don't like.
Listen, I always tell the girls, and my girls are the reality girls, I always tell them, like, this is not going to end well for you. Yeah. Because to have an ego of this magnitude and this diva quality of being late, showing up when you feel like it, disrespecting the crew, talking to the producers any kind of way, shading your producers on social media because you don't like the way the episode aired, whatever the case may be, going against everybody around you, that's not going to end well for you. No. So
I still to this day will say I do not believe he ever told her that. He said he never told her that. The networks, did they questioning or whatever? He never told her that. That is a lie to the depths of hell. So y'all can stop telling that story. Y'all need to go buy the Bravo book. They explain to you that Carlos did not tell her that. So y'all can stop believing that lie. No, I do not mess with him because of what he tried to do to my group in Our Life Story.
Recent interview, Kandi Burruss made some strong accusations against Carlos King, the former executive producer of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She accused King of stealing Escape's life story behind her back. When asked why she and Carlos King are no longer friends, Kandi said he was the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV One. What do you think about her claims? Al, what do you think about this?
This was really weird. I had never seen Kandi go so hard on someone and calling, she cursed. But Claudia Funke and I, we've all worked with him. He's all given us opportunities to work in the business, and he's created a number of media stars. I'm wondering if there was just some type of disagreement or misunderstanding of some sorts. We know, Candy's not a liar. We know that she's lived a very transparent and above board life. And Carlos, we don't know Carlos as being a person who steals people's stories or whatever. So I'm just hoping that it's a misunderstanding. But you know what, guys, don't forget Carlos and Todd, Candy's husband, created that #1 show, The Encore, over at BET last season. It got picked up for another season. So do you think this beef between Kandi and Carlos is going to spill over on this #1 show that Todd and Carlos has at BET?
I think so. I mean, if that's the way she feels, it's probably going to cause some static, which sucks because they created magic together, and I love both of them. Q, what do you think?
Well, obviously, Candy's feelings about Carlos don't spill over into Carlos and Todd's business too much, because remember, Carlos was the one who was accused of telling Phaedra the I want to drug you and rape you and take you to the sex dungeon stuff with Portia and Phaedra. So either way, Carlos is a friend of mine. Kandi used to once manage me. Carlos had office space in Kandi's studio at once upon a time. Now, I don't know if what Kandi's saying is the truth. Kandi doesn't lie. But if it is the truth, it's effed up. If you're going to sell those people's life story and a deal is going to be made on their life story, I feel like all 4 of the members should have been a part of any deal about their life story that was presented to anyone and sold to anyone. That's just decent.
And she was so visibly shaking when she was telling the story, and her voice was cracking, and people kind of get
because they operate in close proximity of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we operate in close proximity. We've worked together. You've known me all this time. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or false, but if it is true, just as a friend, it's jacked up. And outside of friendship, it's just messed up to take somebody who's living and take their life story and pitch it somewhere, and they're not a part of the deal. How are you going to capitalize off of my stuff?
I will say this. Kandi did say that Carlos did not tell Phaedra that lie. People in the chat are saying that. So I know that, so she did clear that up. One thing I do like about Kandi is she is fair. Like, just because she's mad at someone, she's not going to say, yeah, and they did that too. They did that. She's going to stick to her story. She's not going to just put a little extra on it. Aries88 says, she said he was around them to get information on them, even asked her mom questions. She thought they were friends. So I hope they can work it out, because they did make some good shows together.
The main reason, my main issue with Carlos is he is the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV1. And for that, I just can't get past it. He had been working with us that entire season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Last year, he was with us. Him and Ty had already had some like little issues, business issues, because they were doing a production company together. So they already had some things they had dealt with personally. But, we were trying to move past that and still work together on the show, because he was executive producing. What season was that? 9 or whatever?
Yes.
And he was his last year. Okay. So let's say the season wrapped in November. In December, someone tells me, I was talking to a friend. I was like, we should do like a movie about, our life or whatever. And they were like, it was a director that Todd and I were speaking. And they was like, somebody's already doing it. And I was like, what you mean somebody's doing it? And so in my mind, I'm thinking it was one of my group members or something. And they was like, yeah, it's a network that's already like, because I took a meeting about directing it. And I was like, what? Now, mind you, just wrapped season 9. The season in like either top of December or November, end of November right there. In December, I'm hearing that this movie has been sold to a network. So I come to find out a couple weeks later, I'm trying to find out what is going on, and come to find out it was, in sidebar, his other producing partner, one of the producers that worked for him, who was also at the time I thought was super cool, had called my mom, was like, oh yeah, we want to do interview you, because we're trying to do a documentary about girl groups or something. So we want to ask you questions about, say my mom was going to do it or whatever, but come to find out, he was the person who had did the deal with TV1 to sell our life story. He was, and my mom, and it was going to try to ask my mother questions about us unknowingly to get more information, I guess, for the show. So anyway, I just thought that was the lowest thing that anybody could ever do.
Wait, so how did he have the rights to your story?
He didn't have the rights to our story. What I found out, because of course, I was calling lawyers and everything. And I found out at the time that when you're a public figure, people can do
unauthorized.
They can do unauthorized stories about you. Right. And at the time, we had already done like behind the music type of thing on TV1 or whatever. Okay. No, TV1. Remember, Unsung. How they Unsung, yeah. Yep. So they had certain information that I guess they could base the movie off of. But my thing was, I was like, never once, all them years we had been around each other, he had never once told me that he was trying to do a movie about us, and to be able to go behind my back and to do that, and that's our life story.
Right.
I was like, I can't fuck with him ever again.
Wow.
I did not want to. I did reach out to him at first. He didn't answer the phone because I had just heard it, so I wasn't sure that it was him. So I was calling him to like, yo, like, what is this? He didn't answer my calls. But then when we did some things to start like reaching out to the network to try to get the whole situation shut down, then all of a sudden he reaches out to me, and I didn't want to talk after that. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't ever have to talk to you again. And that's just how I feel. I'm like, that is the lowest of the low. Our first spinoff was the wedding, or one of them. I think our spinoff was the first show that he was executive producer for. Mm-hmm. I literally fought for him to be executive producer of my show, to be the lead executive producer. Right. So for you to have somebody that you went out for, and I always respected him as a producer, to do that to me, I was like, I have no respect for him. Oh. And so for him to now, every time he turn around, he got something to say about me, I'm like, I just give him no energy. But that right there, my life story, That shit gets me, makes me emotional, and it pisses me off. So yeah, I don't have nothing for you.
Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. 'Cause the love you give, you can't replace. It's not in the purpose. It's not in the That's why I spend my life with you.